Welcome. Thank you guys for joining us for our call on emotions. I'm really excited about this call for a couple of reasons. One is that this was a really hard thing for me when I first started using oils. Like, I didn't really get the whole emotional connection with oils. This came to me much later, actually through experience, like that me seeing them work accidentally for emotions that I didn't even intend to address. I came from a bits and bytes world in high tech. I needed to see things happen in front of my eyes. I like the science behind it. So I'm going to share with you guys the science behind essential oils and emotions, because I think that is super hard for people to grasp who like black and white information and have a hard time understanding the connection between emotions and oils. So we're going to geek out on science for just a few minutes. So I'm going to talk about how oils actually work to the brain. So the mechanics of sense and smell are being still explored by scientists today. So this is like an ongoing research that's been going on for many, many years, but they've been described like working as a lock and key scenario that a certain aroma can unlock and find specific receptor sites based on what the brain needs. Okay, super crazy, interesting stuff. So when fragrance is inhaled, specifically plant fragrances, the molecules travel up through the nostrils into the olfactory system and enter the center of the olfactory system called olfactory sensation. And each olfactory receptor type sends an impulse to a particular microregion of the olfactory bulb and allows us to actually perceive the smell. So something very cool is that you're actually affecting your brain before you realize that you are smelling something. So the actual smell doesn't hit you until after your brain has started to do something with that smell, which to me is like mind blowing. So, okay, next part. Okay, the bulb, this olfactory bulb, then transmits the impulse to another part of the brain, including different centers. So there's the gustatory center, which is where taste is perceived. There's the amygdala, where our emotions and our memories are stored. And then there are other parts of the limbic system. So the limbic system is directly connected to parts of the brain that control your heart rate, your blood pressure, your breathing, your stress levels, your hormone balance. And so what this means is that essential oils, and seriously, they can have a profound physiological and psychological effect on the body just through smell. The brain scans, if you do, actually the new science around essential oils and smell and the brain is that they actually do brain scans. So they've done MRIs. There's all different kinds of brain scanning mechanisms where they actually will hand an oil to someone, have them smell that oil and watch the brain waves change on the screen. So to me, this is like the coolest way to see the science on how an essential oil can actually affect the brain waves. And in fact, in our offices in Japan, they actually have this machine set up. So you can use this, put this thing on your head and smell different oils and see how it affects your brain. Smell is the only of the five senses that is directly linked to the limbic lobe of the brain, the emotional control center. So the best way to affect your emotions is through smell, like not a capsule of oil, not putting it on topically, smelling that oil. So anxiety, depression, fear, anger, and joy all emanate from the limbic system. So we react first to that smell, and then we think later. So we're reacting before we can. So I always say, this is a way you can manipulate your home, right? This is true, right? If you want your family to be happy, diffuse things that make them happy because they're not even thinking about it. They're just feeling happier, right? So this can be, and just as a sidebar, you can actually also reduce your appetite with essential oils. So if that's something that you struggle with as well, peppermint is known for this fact. I just thought that I'd throw that little tidbit in because everyone is always wanting to know these things that we're sitting at home way too much right now, putting too many things in our bodies. So Anyway, so that's really the science around the essential oils. And I think science is amazing and super interesting. But what I think in reality is that people just want to understand how these oils affect us personally. Tell me your story, right? How did this affect you? And I'm just going to tell one quick story. I have hundreds and hundreds and probably, if not thousands of stories. But when my daughter was young, I was traveling a ton before I started to do Young Living full time. And it was really hard on my kids for me to leave them often twice a week. I was traveling on an airplane twice a week. And it was hard for them to express at a young age how this made them feel. And so my daughter would be angry a lot. Her reaction, her response to her sadness was to be angry with me. And one of the trips I came home and I hustled my rear end. I got out on an earlier flight that they didn't expect me to be home this early. I went straight from the airport to their school to pick my kids up from school because I just missed my kids so badly and I wanted to see them. And I got to school and I ran to my daughter and I was like, I took an earlier flight so I could come see you guys. I missed you so much. And she just was so awful to me, so mean and horrible to me. And I just grabbed her and I hugged her. And I'm getting emotional talking about this, but I grabbed her and I hugged her. And what I didn't realize is that I was wearing a diffuser necklace and I had oils in my diffuser necklace. And she went from like fighting me off, hugging her, to just crying and saying, Mom, I'm so sorry. I was just so mean to you. I just really missed you so much. And like, this is maybe not a big deal for some people, but for my daughter who has a hard time apologizing and accepting responsibility for her actions, especially at a young age, it was a really big deal that she could say to me, I realize what I've done. That wasn't the right reaction. And here's my actual feeling, was a huge thing for me. And I didn't come to me till later that it was because I pulled her in and she was forced to smell. And that was what had done it for her. So anyway, that's my story for the day. I have many more. And with that, I'm going to hand it over. I need to see if Serena had enough power. She was dealing with outages. I don't think she's made it to this call. Serena, if you're on though, let me know. What's in my diffuser necklace? I think that day I was wearing Peace and Calming or Stress Away on that particular day. My favorite combination that I wear every day now is Joy, Believe, and Abundance. And I know you don't get all of those if you're in Africa, but we're working on it. Hang tight. But that is my favorite combination. Okay, so Tracy, let me make sure Tracy's on. If you can unmute yourself, Tracy. I see you. You are up for your story. Tracy, can you unmute yourself?
Sorry, I've just joined the call. I've just joined the call, so I wasn't sure what the.
Oh yes, you were up to tell your story. You have the right Tracy.
Yeah, I think I'm the wrong Tracy.
Oh, no problem. Okay, so let me see. Is Haley on? Where is everyone today? All right. Kim, you're up. I see your face. We're just going to reorganize on the fly. That's how we do it.
Hi, everyone. So unlike Ali, I've always been massively in love with essential oils for emotions. I've used them from my teenage years and probably now know that those were fractionally less powerful than the ones we have at our disposal now. So when I bought my starter kit, we still had access to the American market, and I immediately added Release, Sacred Mountain, Sarah. They all came with my Forgiveness. They all came with my starter kit, and Vala actually wasn't included in our starter kit. So I threw in all the feelings and the emotional oils. I then subsequently went on a bit of a 3-month Eat, Pray, Love trip where Release was in my diffuser every single night. I had to let go of a lot of stuff, and Release was my best friend. And I know that we talk about essential oils and products from Young Living that are not always available in our market in South Africa, and it's frustrating as all hell. But if this is important enough to you, it is well worth clubbing together with a buddy and just ordering them. You don't pay anything other than that on an essential oil coming in. And you're obviously paying your postage, your shipping, but it is really, really worth it for some of these products that we can't get at the moment, especially if emotions are your problem. Your problem, that's a terrible word. Your challenge, the thing you would like to improve. And so Release was a spectacular success for me. I think I came home feeling about 10 kilos lighter. In essence, I was actually 10 kilos heavier. But I just let go of a whole weight of my problems. And my son also suffers from a deep depression, and he's not a believer in oils. As many of you will know, he thinks I've joined a cult, and he will not allow oils anywhere near his body. But I do manipulate our home. I put joy in the diffuser all the time, and I will put it in his study and I will remove it before he schools at home. And those days where I'm very mindful about what I do around him, he is definitely in a much better space. I also spray his linen with joy, and I spray the inside of his underwear with joy. And we do get it in by hook or by crook. And he has made a remarkable recovery and a much better child. Recently, I have had a very challenging weekend. I've had a breakup, and I have had to reach rather deeply into my bag of emotional oils once again. But I can't actually recommend this book highly enough. It's Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils. It probably requires a bit of Lindsay did a call, and Ellie's probably got it on her YouTube channel where she shows us how to use it. But for example, I'm going to pick an emotion that I felt rejection. And what you're aiming for is the opposite emotion from rejection, and it helps you achieve that emotion. So the opposite of rejection is acceptance. And you take your oil, so it recommends the oil, and in this case it's white angelica, which we all luckily get, this beautiful little guardian angel, and it tells you the point on your body that you should put it. In this case it is your lungs, and to rub it all over, and it gives you an affirmation to say. So it gives you your alarm point, your affirmation, and in this case for rejection to move towards acceptance, it's I accept all that I am. So you rub it all over your chest, and with the remnants in your hand, you just repeat that affirmation over and over to yourself in the mirror, and you just do this until you feel cleared. I have got a whole heap of post-it notes on the inside of my bathroom cabinet mirror of all the emotions that I'm trying to move to the more positive side, along with all the oils. Some of the alarm points are a little more tricky to find, but let's say another one is that this weekend I was completely blindsided, and blindsided is in this book. And the other side of blindsided is awareness. And the affirmation is I am alert. And the oil for that is tea tree. And you rub it just here, what they call the temporal bone mastoid portion, which is, I would just say, the perfume parts below your ears. It's just these parts here, and you rub it there. And the same thing, you just inhale, say your affirmation, rub the alarm points, and it is the most incredible book for helping you process emotions. So that's what I would like to share.
Thank you so much, Kim. I'm so grateful. Next up, Emily, can you tell some stories for us?
Sure. I would say that I really started using essential oils about 3 years ago, but in July, sort of really got involved in it was going through a situation where I was really in an emotional place, and it kind of gotten to this place of surrender, kind of asking the universe for, show me, what can I do? Because I can't use my brain to think through this. And fortunately, I connected with Allie. It was the universe sent her to me, and that time, and just kind of reconnecting and sort of digging into oils and what that can help with. And I really feel like one transformational moment for me, aside from the emotions, is also having migraines, which I think were, attached to everything. But I would have like a whole week. I'd lose whole weeks. I'm still a mom and still putting one foot in front of the other and doing the whole thing. But whenever I'd have a moment, I would just go lie down and just kind of block out the world and try to ignore everything. And so I started putting a drop of joy into my palm and rubbing that, like with my finger, kind of doing a counter or clockwise motion with that, and just breathing it in. And it was very calming and soothing. And I really credit that as something that I can go back to. And it really does, it's not like I instantly felt amazing, but it did give me a sense of calm and hope and peace, which was so valuable at that time. And I really had so much success kind of pulling myself out of this dark place with the oils, as well as some of the nutritional aspects as well, that my husband has been going through an incredibly difficult time. We're in the middle of a lawsuit, and so a lot of emotions around that and financial stress. And he was at the point where he really couldn't sleep. And he is not a Mr. like woo like oils. Like, he's very open to those things, but he's, it's not his natural jam. And so I heard about vetiver, and it smells so yummy to me. Some people don't like it at all, but I really enjoy it. And he was desperate to sleep, and so we put a drop of vetiver in his hands, rubbed it around, kind of activated it, and would rub it on his jawline, and he slept so much more peacefully with that. And it was a great help. It was a great tool. Another thing, he was having trouble getting motivated to do things during the day, and it sort of like having cement booties on, just not being able to move forward. And so he got into the habit of doing scent tents. It started off as like will you please just try this? Okay, fine. And so we did Valor, which is great for confidence. It's great for so many things. And we'd do a little scent tent, drop in the hand, and then he would inhale 2 or 3 times, and it would really help him along on his day, help him with motivation. And so we moved into where he would ask for his oils, which was nice. And then we also kind of got into a rotation of, Valor on some days, peace and calming on other days. He never really was a joy guy. I'm trying to think, there's one other, I can't think of it right now. But Valor also really helped my daughter, she wants to do the right thing all the time. And she just gets so tense, and that she gets kind of like hyper. And so the Valor kind of calms her and recenters her as well. So those are a couple of my favorites. And I just want to second Kim's piece about the book that she mentioned, because it's really incredible, and it's so just reframing those thoughts with the oils. Some of my favorite oils going through that book that I wasn't really sure why I was drawn to, I kind of went through the book backwards and was like looking for the oils that I have. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is why I love this oil, because this is what I need for this reason. And so that was very interesting as well. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Emily. Okay, so I think we're going to move now, unless someone else has a story that they want to share. We're going to move to have Nikki walk us through our exercise. Does anyone have anything they really want to share before we move on? Okay. All right, Nikki, you're up.
Hi guys, I'm going to just get my slides up to share with you. I'm a co-host, right, Ellie? Okay. So I'm going to just explain a little bit about what aroma freedom technique is. So it's really just clearing out any negative emotions and anything that may have happened in your past that is causing anxiety around a certain situation. So I don't know about you guys, like I know if for me, public speaking in the past was a really scary thing. And it always took me back to a place when I was in high school where some not so fun things happened. And ever since then, when I've had to do public speaking, my body has always gone into a state of flight or fight mode. And by using aroma freedom technique, I'm able to clear those negative emotions and get my body to a state of where it's meant to be, of what our higher power created us to be. So it's really using specifically, and of course, Young Living essential oils because of the high frequency of the oils and the integrity of how the oils are made. So it's a couple of steps that we go through. We're going to do 2 or 3 rounds this evening. If you can just make sure that you've also got a pen and paper ready, that would be awesome. Okay, so step 1 is identify the situation. So you're going to think of a current situation that feels overwhelming, frustrating, or confusing. I'll give you guys time to write it down. You need to write down each step because we're going to go through a few steps. And once you've gone through one step, your next feeling might change. So it's important to write it all down to see where you're at and how things are shifting for you. And this is something I really love to do before doing goal setting as well. So it really gets you to a place of grounding, calmness, and leaving all that hanging on baggage behind. And once you've written down your situation, just make sure you've got a clear picture of it in your head. Okay, if everyone's ready, we're going to move to step 2. Now we're going to name the feeling. We're going to find one word to name that feeling. Imagine that picture that you had in your mind and picture that and name that one feeling that you feel. We've got examples like sad, hopeless, lonely, fearful. It's quite important to just name one word so that we can really get into that emotion. Might be a negative feeling or a positive feeling. Okay, then we're going to move on to step 3. So this is where we locate this feeling in your body. And it's pretty much like your intuition. Your intuition is your gut feeling. Your body never lies to you. So examples, you could feel it in your head, your heart, your belly, or really anywhere else in your body. It can even be in your body posture. I know that sometimes I start an AFT session and I'm all slumped over, and then halfway through the session, I'm sitting up nice and tall. And feel free to share what you're feeling or where you're feeling it in the chat. Okay, step 4 is we identify the negative thought. What is the negative thought connected to the feeling? I don't have enough time, I'm overwhelmed, I don't have enough money, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough. Connect that negative feeling. Step 5 is we're going to place 1 drop of lavender, frankincense, and stress away or haven into the palm of your hands, and you're going to rub them together and make a scent. Inhale deeply while focusing on the situation, the feeling, the bodily sensation, and the negative thoughts. Breathe love, light, peace, and happiness into that place where you're feeling that negative thought. And just allow your body to be calm. Make sure both feet are on the ground. Just inhale a few times. Allow the oils to work their magic. Breathing into that place where you felt it in your body. Keep breathing in love, light, peace, and happiness. Notice, excuse me, notice what happens to the picture of the situation and to how you feel in your body and your mind. Inhale into that place a few more times, bringing in a sense of calm allowing you to come back to the place where our higher power meant us to be. Gently open your eyes. And the next step is step 7. This is our action step. This is a powerful step. For the situation that had been previously overwhelming, but is now feeling manageable, what is the next step needed in this situation? We're going to set a goal. Picture yourself doing the step and name the positive feeling you will have. So first, set your goal. Let's say you're feeling overwhelmed with your Young Living business. Maybe your goal is to do a mind map. Or you're feeling overwhelmed with lockdown. Maybe your goal is to set chores for your kids. Get everybody working together. Setting goals for the week, breaking things down. Setting goals for the day. Making it seem less overwhelming and more manageable. And like I said previously, it's really important to write down your answer to each step, because as we go through a second or third round, you'll see that it changes. Step 8 is an awesome step. I love this step. Picture yourself doing the step and name the positive feeling you will have. Examples are happy, satisfied, joyous, grateful, whatever that feeling will bring you. A feeling of accomplishment, relief. Maybe it's been hanging on your shoulders for a while, and once you've done it, you feel this great sense of lightness and relief. Step 9, where do you feel that positive feeling in your body? Once again, it can be anywhere in your body, and it can even be a bodily posture. So your head, your heart, your face, your smile, your belly, your chest, your solar plexus. Or if you just want to stand up and go, yay! Step 10 is when we're going to create an affirmation that integrates all of these elements that we've gone through. So the affirmation is going to go, I feel in my as I. Okay, so examples are, I feel joy in my heart as I complete chapter 1 of my book. I feel satisfaction in my smile as I reach out to 5 members in my team. I feel happiness in my belly after holding the Zoom call. Step 11, find a power pose that expresses the energy of this affirmation. So there are many different power poses, and none are wrong or right, just what feels comfortable for you. I love the one standing up with my muscles showing. But it can be anything. You can have your hands, I don't know if you guys can see, you can have your hands over your heart. You can do the big strong one. You can have your hands on your hips, or you can stand up and have your hands pointing up to the sky. So whatever works for you and feels powerful for you, that's the one to use. We're going to take our oils, so we can use believe, abundance, transformation, magnify your purpose, or any citrus oil for this round, or any oil that you love or feel drawn to tonight. We're going to put a drop onto the palm of our hands, rub together and do a sentence. And we're going to inhale for about 1 to 2 minutes, standing or sitting. I find a power pose feels more powerful to me if I'm standing. And you're going to repeat your affirmation. So you're going to inhale the oil in your power pose and repeat your affirmation. Keep inhaling and keep breathing into a place of love. Saying your affirmation out loud to yourself. Sometimes I find that even shouting it out, I know we can't really shout it out now because it's 9:15 in the evening, but sometimes going into the garden and just shouting it out to the universe really helps. Do a couple more inhales, really setting your intention and setting your affirmation, which we're going to carry on working with for the rest of the week. Just some tips. So it really is important to say your affirmation again in your power pose 1 hour after your session to make sure you stay on track. It's really cool to also record your affirmation on your phone recorder and also have post-it notes throughout your house. So that really when you feel you're going back into that place that maybe brought up the anxiety or the overwhelm for you, you're reminded all the time throughout the house. And then I always have the oils that we mentioned in my bag. So if I'm getting that feeling again throughout the day, then I can quickly just inhale the oils. And because you've set the affirmation, your brain will register that, okay, we're changing shifts here. We're changing stuff. Okay, I'm going to take you guys through one more round. The reason why we do a few rounds is because sometimes in just one round, you can't just shift stuff. Maybe there's something that's still bothering you, or it's just not shifting for you. So what I'd like you to do is look at your original situation And I'd like you to rate it from a scale of 1 to 10. So 1 being almost not possible, and 10 being absolutely amazingly possible. I'm doing this right now. So rate it from a scale of 1 to 10. And maybe your situation's even changed. Again, we're doing round 2, so we're going to find one word that describes how you feel about the situation. It can be negative, it can be positive. Regret, love, hate, joy, fear, pride. Step 3, locate where in your body you feel that negative emotion. Step 4, go back to identifying any negative thoughts surrounding that situation. I feel overwhelmed. I don't have enough time. Am I good enough? Step 5, we go back to inhaling our essential oils. Again, lavender, frankincense, and haven will stress away if you're overseas. A drop of each in the palm of your hand, rub together and go scent. Wherever you felt that negative emotion in your body, inhale into that place. Inhale positive feelings, inhale love, inhale light. And courage. Inhale courage. And take really deep breaths in through your nose, into your solar plexus, and feel your belly expand. Just allow a calmness to wash over you, bringing your body back to its original state. Step 7, your goal might have changed or it might have stayed the same. You're going to identify what goal is going to help you not feel stressed or worried or overwhelmed. And break it down. If if setting a task for the whole week is too much for you, then set it for 2 hours of the day or 1 hour of the day, whatever you can manage at the moment. Step 8. Picture yourself doing the step and name the positive feeling you will have. A sense of achievement, that there's one more thing ticked off your to-do list. You're happy, you're satisfied, you're joyous, you're grateful. Step 9, where do you feel this positive feeling in your body? Anywhere in your body or your bodily posture. Can even be in your throat, your ear, your neck. Create an affirmation that integrates all of the elements that you just wrote down in the second round. So I feel in my as I Okay, we're going to go back to our power pose, whichever one feels the most powerful and expresses your energy. Use that one. And we're going to use any of the oils recommended: Believe, Abundance, Transformation, Citrus Fresh, Magnify Your Purpose, or any other citrus oil, or anything that you're drawn to at the moment. I see there's some peeps just asking if they can see step 6. Let me just have a look. Yeah, I'll actually just show it at the end. Okay, so we're in our power pose. We've got our oil in the palm of our hand. And we're going to say our affirmation out loud while inhaling our sentence. Okay, do a few more rounds of inhaling your oil. And really do deep breaths. Inhaling through your nose, allowing your belly to really rise. Fill your lungs with our beautiful oils. Then again, I recommend, if you can do, if you're still awake, to just do your affirmation again in your power pose, 1 hour, in 1 hour's time. And then, like I said before, having the post-it notes and a recording on your phone. I recommend that you do this 2 minutes in the morning and 2 minutes in the evening, just to for 7 days, and using the same oils that you used tonight. Some people ask, oh, sorry, if you can just go back to your original situation and then just rate it from a scale from 1 to 10. And don't stress if it's gone down. Sometimes it does go down. If it does go down, it's probably a good thing, because there's something deeper that you need to work on. Okay, some people are just asking on the chat if they could see step 6. Step 6 is after you've done your, you've named your positive feeling where you feel in your body, there's something, you decide what is next. So you can either move straight onto your affirmation stage after your first round, or you can go back and clear another negative feeling. So that's what we did. We did two rounds. Or you can do something which is called the full aroma freedom technique. So what we did tonight is we did an aroma boost. So aroma boost normally takes 20 to 30 minutes. But if you do a full aroma freedom technique, it's about 45 minutes, where you go through quite a few rounds, rating your situation from a scale of 1 to 10. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I'll be a qualified practitioner in a few weeks' time. So yeah, if you need any help, just give me a shout. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nikki, for going through that with everyone. Hopefully everyone got some value out of it. I know it's kind of a new experience for many, so just take it in and take from it as you need, right? I mean, this is kind of new to a lot of people, so I'm super grateful for your time, Nikki. I will save and download this class, so whoever sent you here, they can reach out to me and we'll share this recording. And then if you want to do an aroma boost at any time, you can just play back this portion for yourself if you need to walk through it again. So thank you everyone for coming. And we look forward to seeing you next week on our next calls. I actually wanted to look and see what our calls were for next week. We have a call on Thursday, right? We have an intro class on Thursday. So if you have friends that you want to introduce to oils, next Thursday. Also, we have new stories every single time. So if you just want to come hear some more stories on how we use oils, come to the class next Thursday, same time, same link. Bye, everyone.